my husband took his life, you'll never answer the question, if only I had. You're making it about you because you're the person who's left behind. But if you look at it as, you know, when someone's sick and they die, we as a society say they're no longer in pain anymore. They're no longer hurt. It doesn't mean we don't feel it and we're not left behind. When someone takes their life, I would want the world to say they're no longer mentally in pain. Because even in certain cultures and certain locations in the South, suicide is not discussed, it's taboo. It is the ultimate sin to take your own life. But God knew you before you knew yourself.
Successful women are going to have a hard time because some men think we don't need you.
I'm going to say something kind of wild.
You didn't have to raise your hand.
If I were, okay, well, I
like that, though. Being obedient is awesome. Oh, my God, that is a trait. What you just did is a trait that certain communities would kill for it. Like, I said you're obedient, and you didn't say, oh, I ain't no obedient. And you were just like, you went in there.
That's my thing. I'm trad wife till I die.
You talking about, Dr. Umar?
I'm old enough to tell you, women didn't act the way they act today. A lot of women act different. You know, a lot of women are today is more like, you know, independent minded. You know what I mean? They don't listen to men. You know what I mean? They don't respect men. They don't hold men in high esteem. You know, even, you know, the preacher used to preach, you know, the Bible says, you know, that's what he said. The Bible says, so, women submit to your men. Man, you tell a woman to submit now, I don't care if Jesus saying it. They trying to hear that. They not, Jesus do, that's in the Bible, but they don't believe in that.
I'm saying, and after some jewels being dropped today, I'm gonna get some more. So I need you to have your money right. Respect the hood. Please respect it.
When you say your money right, how much? Like how much money can they, what type of job can they be like? Do they got to be like on the register of Walmart or Target? Can they be the manager? Can they be the general manager? Well, I'm just saying, why are you discriminating against it? Like, you mean to tell me that Mike can't be, or Boo Boo can't be working? Like, damn, I'm chilling. I ain't in the streets no more. I just came home. I did a bit. I'm over here. I'm stocking the clerks at Target. I moved up. I'm the manager now. I got me a little clean car. I still got my gel workout on, so I'm looking good. Got my nice flying fade up.
Okay.
He can't get a shot?
I mean, I wouldn't know where I would meet him. First of all, it got to be...
He could be anywhere. You might be in the gym.
No, because he a general manager. He always at work. I don't, you know what I'm saying? No, I would never meet him.
But you might be in Target, get some towels. You know how you like to go there and get towels.
But they be mostly in the office. I'm going to be in the aisles looking for the shit I need. I ain't going to ever run into y'all, so...
But what if he do walk through and see you in the aisle? Oh, what's up?
Most of the time, niggas like
he ain't got a chance, man.
I was. Wayne, I still say to this day, that's the best relationship I've ever been in. With certain things. We would still beef about how much we make. So I'm like, nigga, I make more than you. Like, I let him be on his house for a while. And Wayne is so competitive. I'm like, okay. And at first it was cool. It was cute. I'm like, okay, I got a nigga that's like, okay, challenging. All right, cool. We wanted to go on tour together. It was going to be called Best of Both Worlds. You know, he's a clean comic. I'm dirty. I'm raw. I'm Baltimore. He's church. He's Bill Cosby. Well, before the charges, you know. There's like, all right, we can co-headline a tour. You headline, I headline. I'm like, okay, cool. He like, but I got to get X amount. I'm like, why? He's just like, just for one, I'm the man, and then two is you're my woman. No, that's not what we're doing. Because you see, I sell out shows. I put asses in seats. I could see if I was just starting out. I could see if I wasn't Jess. I'm Jess. Shows that you don't sell out, I sell out. And he sells out. But what the talking about? We're going to do 50-50 or it ain't nothing. He couldn't deal with that. And also this like, yo, and I love him to death. Still, we're still good friends.
She can't even call him man. She can't even call him this man, this dude, this guy, this fellow, this person, this mother. Anything is better. Man, can you imagine your woman calling you that? I ain't talking about telling somebody, I love that. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about, you ain't gonna say nothing about him. That's my nigga. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about, then this this. He never did that. I don't even think he talking to. That's how dudes talk to each other, man.
This was like, he know I say this. He was like, well, in a few years, I don't even want you to be touring and doing. I want you to be. You want me to do what? Stay home. And you want to take care of me. That sounds great to a certain type of female.
It sounds great to a feminine type female.
And the greater tragedy is that it's destroyed by things which have nothing to do with you and nothing to do with me. A man is built as he's built, and there's nothing one can do about that. A man is not a woman.
That's true.
You know, and whether he's wrong or right, look, if we're living in the same house, you're my wife or my woman, I had to be responsible for that house. And I'm not allowed to be responsible for that house. I'm no longer in my own eyes. It doesn't make a difference what you may think of me. In my own eyes,
That's fair.
I'm not a man.
That's
You see what I
It does
mean?
indeed make a difference what I think about it. Because I could be perfectly willing, and as a matter of fact, I am perfectly willing to concede that, first of all, a man is a natural aggressor. You know what I mean? I don't care if I walked up to you and said, let's go to bed. You are the aggressor. And that's it. Because it all depends on you. I could fool myself. I could fool my friends. Like, yeah, I got him. It depended on you. You see? So I'm never confused on that level.
Yeah,
But I've seen so many people get so hung up in such crappy, superficial kind of things that for lack of being able to bring a steak in the house, they won't come. I can get my own damn steak.
Nikki,
I need you.
Nikki,
and that's what the black, no, really, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
but Nick-
to me what the black
yeah, but
man
Nikki, you're
has-
perfect.
If a man came into your life, wouldn't you want to compromise?
Stupid. A man comes into my life and I have to compromise? You must think about that one again. A man comes into my life and you have to compromise for what? For what? For what?
I'm single on purpose right
Because
now.
of what, though?
Because I don't want to deal with another grown-ass baby.
Now, what is tricky is this. A man who has a substantial amount of money,
hmm
it's nothing for him to boss up a woman who doesn't have no money.
True.
A woman who has a substantial amount of money,
hmm
she can't go down. She has to start at least where she is or higher.
True.
Why is that?
Because when you try to, and I've tried to talk to somebody,
Regular.
yeah, very insecure. Even men who's supposed to be secure with money are insecure in my business because I'm around a lot of guys.
We got women out here can't find a man because they acting like him.
Are gonna have a hard time because some men think we don't need you. I need you. I need you. You can work at the gas station, and I need you. Why? Because I know I'm gonna get honey buns, I'm gonna get barbecue chips, and a full tank of gas.
I was ready
and
to
then,
say,
and then I'm gonna
gas.
motivate you to buy the gas station you work in. And then I'm gonna motivate you to buy more gas stations. That's right. If that's what you want to do. Now, if you cool working at the gas station, I'll make sure your shirt is fresh and iron. Nate, because your real name is Nathaniel. I'm gonna make sure, but I always say Nate on the shirt. I'll make sure your shirt is ready. Give me some sugar. Now go work at the gas station. I'm gonna scoop around, get me a tank of gas. I need that 91 octane.
There you go.
And I'll see you later.
And see, and niggas and people be wondering why these young niggas be liking these older women. Listen what she just said.
Brandon been over there blushing the whole time.
What you trying to do? What you trying to do? What you trying to do? What you trying to do with them ways? Wait a minute.
And we as men, we know this. If I'm getting money, I don't care about your money unless your money gonna be added to my money. It doesn't matter to me. You can't get me by saying, well, I make 6 figures and I make this and blah, blah. Okay, well, we need to see how that money gonna trickle into my pocket, because if it ain't gonna trickle into my pocket, you stay over there with your 6 figures. I don't need you for money.
I hear women say, you know, I wouldn't date a man if he didn't make over 6 figures, but you don't make 6 figures.
You don't make 6 figures.
You know, I wouldn't date a man if he doesn't look like this, but look at yourself in the mirror. You know, how can you have these high expectations of other people, but you're not living up to those expectations yourself? You know, so work on you first. Get yourself where you need to be. You'll attract what it is that you're looking for. And there are going to be ups and downs in relationships. Stand together. You can navigate through those challenges so much easier together.
Working together? Oh man, you can get there way faster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It got to be and 50-50 don't mean I'm gonna pay 5,000, you pay 5. 50-50 mean come together. Like, you my secretary, if anything.
Exactly.
These yards, you taking these appointments.
That's what that means.
We are in this 100. That's the 50-50 we mean. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I'm lucky enough to have somebody I've been with since a teenager, right? So it had to be 50-50 at one point.
Yeah.
It absolutely had to be 50-50. Like, what you got on the rent? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure she done paid 100% of the bills before. But now that we up, if she say, "Boy, I don't want to go to work ever again," she don't have to.
She's pretty much saying the same thing. But what she's saying is the reverse of this. How you gonna be looking for a high value man that's getting money and you can't match that? But it's the same principle. It's going to show you how Sheryl Underwood, the OG, versus Helani Lobdell, who is not a young chick, she in her 40s. But when you look at the difference in their mindset and you see how a younger woman, a slightly younger woman, still believes that being a boss chick is the key. And her husband's going to back her up. But we're going to talk about that as well, because there's only one reason that a man will back a woman up at this point in life. That's because they grew together. They built together. If they didn't build together and he was as successful as he is now, and he was single and he met this woman, he would not marry her. It's easy to brag about a woman you've been with for 20 years. I'm talking about if you were a single man with this level of success, would you have met her and said, okay, this is my wife, I'm going to marry her? Hell no, you wouldn't have. When you hear Sheryl Underwood speaking, man, you have to understand that I've been saying this forever, that boss chicks don't deserve a man. They deserve a male maybe, but they don't deserve a man, because no man is putting up with that boss chick shit. I don't care about you being a boss chick. What that mean? That mean you just go make money. Bring me that money. If you think that gives you some type of rank with me, or that puts you on equal footing with me, it doesn't. It doesn't, because every month, 7 days, you still got to put on a pad. You understand me? You still have these emotional outbursts. You still have these times where you're just crying for nothing. You still, man, we not finna play that game. Money is not the great equalizer. And that's the problem. We live in a society where the simps out here have allowed women to start perpetuating this concept that her making money is the equalizer. It's just the equalizer in paying bills and having nice things. Otherwise, it don't equalize you as far as character, as far as mindset, as far as masculinity. So I want y'all to understand that, like, we live in a world where women think that they are more than they are because they're able to replicate one thing that men do. I mean, they're able to replicate one thing, bro, nothing else. And I just want y'all to understand that that's not the truth. That's just not the truth, because men don't really care about a woman's money. So if a woman is demanding a 6-figure man, we don't need her to be a 6-figure woman. We need her to be submissive. We need her to be feminine. We need her to be fit. We need her to be friendly. You know what I'm saying? And we need her to be, financially astute in a way where she don't just want to blow through money. We need her to be frugal. You understand me? Feminine, fit, friendly, and frugal. That's what we need. I'm not saying we can't have nice things. I'm not saying we can't do nice things. I'm saying that that's not going to be the crux of our existence. You understand me? We're going to live a life that we enjoy, but we're not going to blow through money while doing it. And if you're a woman who likes fashion and the finer things in life, go get those finer things yourself, because contrary to popular belief, there ain't a whole lot of men out there with money that's willing to spend it on some broad. There just ain't a whole lot of men out there. And the men who are willing to do that, all they want to do is smash. So you have a dilemma. If you're looking for a relationship, then you're going to have to compromise some things. You're going to have to adjust your mindset on some things. But if you're looking for somebody to trick off on you, you could do that, but be prepared to get ran through by multiple men throughout your life. Here's the thing about what Helani Lobdell is saying. Yes, women don't measure up to men in those ways, but that's not what we're trying to do. We don't care if women measure up to us in those ways. We want what we want, and it's not a woman who's a mirror of us. You understand? So yeah, me right now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't deal with a woman who makes less than 6 figures. If she's a modern woman, she got to be doing at least 6 figures, because to deal with a modern woman and her lack of femininity and her lack of input in the things that a man would want a woman to input in, her lack of cleaning skills, her lack of cooking skills, or her lack of time to cook and clean. Okay, if somebody else got to cook and clean, that means they got to be paid. Well, that means your money got to come into the house. If your strong suit is making money, then that's got to come to me. If it ain't gonna come to me, then you go over there. There's plenty of men out here for you, baby. Plenty of men out here. And one thing I say about Jason, saying that, his wife, if she want to stop working right now, she can't. That's great. But she'd have put in to work with that man all these years. You meet women right now, and they don't want to work when they meet you. Woman, you got to be a stone fool to believe that somebody finna meet you with all your issues and all your hangups and probably a baby or 2 or 3, and somebody just finna meet you and put you on easy street where you ain't got to work? No, if you want to live that life, you got to go ahead out there and practice the hoism. Get you multiple men who are going to represent multiple streams of income, and then you just go out there and be that type of woman. If you have no other skill and you want to sit down and do nothing all day, then you got to live that life. Because it ain't no man out here that's got an inch of brains in his body that's going to let you sit at home and do nothing while he go out and make the money. And then you still got all these issues. Imagine a woman with 2 or 3 children talking about you should take on her and her responsibility. She ain't going to do nothing financial. She just going to live her life and take care of the kids. Take care of who kids? Them your goddamn kids. You got to take care of them kids already. Don't come to me talking about, well, I'll be home, I'm gonna take care of the kids. Who kids? I don't care about you taking care of somebody else's kids. That's that man's kids. I don't care nothing about that. Listen, bro, don't care less about a woman taking care of her own kid. It don't mean nothing. It just showed me that she's responsible, but it don't benefit my life. And so I guarantee you, if this man had met this woman now while he's on like he is, he would not have married her, because marriage is a broke man's game. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. I'm not saying that you shouldn't put a woman in a white position. Legal marriage is a dumb game, but I'm talking about putting a woman in a white position in your life. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but if you don't know how that woman is going to respond to you having nothing, you shouldn't put her in that position when you own, when you get money. You understand? If you're a made man, if you're a paid man, if you're an unafraid man, hey man, don't you put that woman in the white position, because you don't know what the hell she's going to do if you just happen to fall off. And you ain't got time to find out after she's already cemented into a position in your life. So yes, plenty of men like Jason and Tony Gaskins, they brag about their wives, but they've been with those women for years. And I guarantee you, both of those guys will agree behind closed doors where ain't nobody gonna spread it to their brow. If they met them women right now while they own like they are, but they were single, they wouldn't think about settling down, marrying those women, dog. Ain't no doubt in my mind. They know it, and I know it, and you know it too. So if you ain't been married for 15, 20 years, I don't want to hear you talk to us about marriage, because you a fool. You married at the wrong time. You've been married for 5 years, man. Your marriage ain't going to work. Don't you understand that? If your legal marriage is 5 years young, man, bro, you got an uphill climb, because your woman is caught up in social media, unless she's from another culture. Otherwise, man, she's just going to be a vulture waiting for your manhood and masculinity and your virility to die so she can slide with whatever she can get. That's not bad. That's not good. It's just true. So what you gonna do? Like this video on your way out if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. When you subscribe, click that notification bell. Make sure your notifications are on so you can be alerted to when I upload some more of this Prism of the Ism. And as always, Alpha's up, Beta's down. Peace.